All right, everybody, we're going to do Algebra 2, Unit 1, Lesson 4, okay? We have this broken down by section, so I'm going to just go through the examples with you, and then you should definitely try these problems and then check it with the key, okay? All right, let's get it started. Okay, so first thing first here is it asks us to add these polynomials. Remember, polynomial just means any collection of expressions, okay? So it could have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms with different variables or constants, okay? So with that being said, let's run through what these steps look like. So we're going to drop these parentheses when we're adding. So I'm just going to bring these down. So negative 8x squared minus 3x plus 7 plus 4 minus x to the third plus 2x squared plus x to the fifth. Okay, I'm going to now color code from here, and I'm going to combine like terms. Let's make sure we remember what like terms mean. Same variable, same exponent. Okay? All right, and then we want to write this in standard form. So let's try and do this all at once. So when I do this all at once, I'm looking for my highest exponent term. So the highest exponent term I see is x to the fifth right there. Now nothing else is x to the fifth. So therefore, I'm just going to bring that down. All right, so next I would look for my next highest exponent. There's no x to the fourth. I do have x to the third though. So, since I have x to the third, boom, right there, there's nothing else as x to the third, so I'm going to bring that down as well. Okay, now I'm going to look for my x squared. I do see more than one x squared. So I see negative 8x squared, and I see positive 2x squared. So I'm going to do negative 8 plus 2, which is negative 6. So I'm going to get negative 6x squared. Okay, next, I'm going to look for just my x term. Well, I see negative 3x. There's no other x term, so I bring it down. Okay. All right, and then last but not least on that one, I see my straight up integers. So I see plus 7 and plus 4. I'm going to just add those, and I'm going to get 11. And then I've already written it in standard form because I went from the highest exponent of 5 to then 3 to then 2 to then 1 to then obviously this has no variable, so therefore it has no exponent at all. Okay, so that's what we're doing for addition. Definitely want to try these two. Make sure you check them with the key. All right, so now let's show a subtraction. So here's what we got going on. This negative right here is really like distributing a negative 1, unless there's another number written there, to everything in the second parenthesis. So all those signs are going to have to switch. So what we're going to do is we're going to distribute the subtraction sign to all the terms in the second polynomial. So the first polynomial, what's the first trinomial here? I'm just going to bring that down. So 4x squared minus x plus 3. Now I'm going to distribute that negative. So this was 5x, now it's negative 5x. That was 8, now it's negative 8. Now I'm going to combine like terms. And again, I'm going to go from highest to lowest exponent. So I see my 4x squared here, so I'm going to write that down because there's no other x squared term. Okay, so now I'm looking for just my x term. So I see negative x, remember that's like negative 1x, and negative 5x. So negative 1, negative 5 is negative 6x. Okay, next I'm going to combine my just regular integers, my constants. So I see 3 minus 8. 3 minus 8 is negative 5. And I've already written that in descending order, aka standard form. So you definitely want to try these two examples. Make sure you check them with the key. Okay, so now let's do this where we have to do everything. So we're going to have to distribute and combine like terms. So let's look at one of these examples here together, and then we'll keep going from here, okay? All right, so in this case, you've got to go through, multiply. So let's look at what we've got here. We got to multiply this 3 in. So when we multiply this 3 in here, we're going to go multiply, multiply. So 3 times x squared, 3x squared. 3 times 4, 12. Next, you distribute the negative 6 in. Negative 6 times 2x, negative 12x. Negative 6 times 3, negative 18. All right, and then you distribute the negative, which just means you flip all those signs. Now we're going to do the same thing we've done before. So what's my highest exponent that I see? The x squared. So we're going to do 3x squared minus x squared. Remember, that's like an implied 1. So 3 minus 1 is just 2. So I get 2x squared. Okay, so then from there, I'm going to do it for the x. So now I see negative 12x plus 4x. So negative 12 plus 4 is negative 8x. All right, and then I'm going to see my 12 minus 18, which is negative 6, minus 5 more, which is negative 11. We've already written it in standard form. So we distributed and we combined the like terms, okay? All right, so then from there, you definitely want to go through and do these practice questions. Make sure you check them with the key. Okay, so let's talk about multiplying polynomials. So when we multiply polynomials, we're going to multiply the coefficients, that number out in front of the variable, and then we're going to add the exponents of the variable. So here I see 7x times 4x to the third. So 7 times 4 is 28, and then I've got x and x to the third. Well, if you're not cool with it, you could put a little 1 there. Remember, if I just see an x, there's no exponent, it's implied to be a 1. So I'm supposed to add the exponents of the variables. Okay, so 1 and 3 give me 4. And then there we go, 28x to the fourth. Okay, definitely try these two, and again, check with that key. Alright, lastly, let's go through that same multiplication, but now we're going to do it with polynomials. So it's not just multiplying a monomial times a monomial, one term times one, it's more than one term. Okay, so here, we're going to need to multiply both of the first two terms times both of the last two terms. We're going to do this as distributive property 2 times. So 2x times x, well 2 times 1 is 2, and x, remember we're asked to multiply the exponents, we actually add, so 1 and 1 is 2. Now I'm going to do 2x times 7, which is 14, and then the x. Then we'll do negative 3 times x, negative 3x, negative 3 times 7, negative 21. Okay, and then we've got these like terms, so 14x minus 3x. So 14 minus 3 is 11. So we get 2x squared plus 11x minus 21. Okay, make sure here that we multiply. Notice I multiplied 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So that's what you want to look to do, okay? Key tip on number 11, a lot of people mess this up. Remember, squared means times itself. So I would definitely start by writing this thing out 2 times. And now do this the way we just did this one. And then here on number 12, you got 2 terms times 3 terms. So you're going to have to multiply in there 3 times for the first one and for the next one. So you should multiply 6 times, then combine like terms. Make sure you try these, check it with the key. Okay. Lastly, we're going to divide. So here, we see 3 terms, aka a trinomial in the numerator, and just that 1 term in the denominator. Well, that 3x squared is dividing every term. So what we're going to suggest here is to divide them into each different fraction. So here we go. 3x to the 5th over 3x squared plus 12x to the 4th over 3x squared minus 18x to the 3rd over 3x squared. And now I'm going to simplify each one, okay? Alright, so 3 divided by 3 is 1. I don't need to write that. When I'm asked to divide with exponents, we actually subtract those exponents, okay? So when I have x to the 5th over x squared, 5 minus 2 gives me x to the 3rd. Okay, next, I've got 12 divided by 3. Well, 12 divided by 3 is 4. And then, when I'm asked to divide with exponents, I actually subtract them. So 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay, negative 18 divided by 3 is negative 6. X to the 3rd over x squared, well, when I'm asked to divide the exponents, I actually subtract them, so I get x. And then, that's my answer. It's already in standard form because it's from the highest to the lowest exponent. So make sure you try 13 and 14. Again, check with the key. And then from there, there's a whole bunch more practice. Go ahead and try those, and check with the key as well.